an email. It's my monthly newsletter to kind of say thank you, let you know what everything's happening for me. So check your emails that are linked to your Twitch account if you'd like to see those. So thanks again for your support, everyone. Hi, Alchemist. Welcome. Hi, Senkora. Finally back. Yep. Well, I'm trying to continue to stream on my Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and not do the off days as much. But yeah. So hi, Mike. Welcome on too. And as part of that newsletter, I did say I would get my results of the TwitchCon cosplay competition. That was a lie. I rechecked their website and apparently, I guess they needed more time. Or I misread, but I think they changed it, and so now it's the 6th. So we still have to wait. Yay! But I guess no news is good news in this case, because they haven't said no, and they haven't said yes. So, oh well, but we're still going to be working on Mercy today, and we're going to be doing, assembling the crown, epoxying a bunch of pieces together, doing pins. Also, if we get enough time, we'll probably be cutting out plexiglass for the glowy star and moon thing today. But before we get to that, I have prints that came in today. Yay! I just went to my mailbox and I just got them. So I'm really excited. I reordered some of my low stocks on some of my prints and also some of my sold out ones. So everything is back in stock, as well as our pre-order stuff is now no longer pre-order, it's actually available. So I've got those to show. I'm excited, So woot. Let me flip over real quick. And these are all available on my website, right down there, www.tiffanygordoncosplay.com. So yeah. And they updated their packaging, so it's all nice now. Where beforehand they did each print in a plastic baggie kind of thing, and now it's all here's a portfolio kind of thing, and I like it a lot more. And they're all the metallic papers, so they're like shiny Pokemon cards, meaning they're like a metallic finish. So here's my, this one we were completely sold out on my store, and this is my, I need to go this way. No, this way. Something like that, yeah. My Xeno'jiiva Beta Armor set from Monster Hunter World. So this is our back in stock print. One day I'll get pictures of me holding the dual blades, fire and ice, that I made with it. But this is the only one I have currently, so it's shiny. Yep. And then we got more of Arcada Ari from League of Legends. I think I only had 1 or 2 of these left, so I reordered some of these. I'm really happy with them. And then our new print, which is our Wicked Lady cosplay from Sailor Moon, or Black Lady, or Dark Lady, depending on where you live and which series you watched and what time, because that was her name in different ones, and yeah. So, I call her Wicked Lady though. This one was the one that we made in a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think, for Anime Matsuri. But yeah. And then we reordered more of this one, of Pink Mercy. This one I only have 1 left. Surprise, surprise. I have, in total, 4 different prints available of my Pink Mercy. And then same with these. We ordered more of Manuka Cola Girl 1. And I still would love to do more photo shoots with her. However, I don't know if I'll ever be able to wear her again. The material that I used for this cosplay, the white material right here with the red, it is a Yaya Han fabric material. It was wonderful to work with, except the white fabric, anything that touched it, it took the color with it. So there's like, from the red pieces, there's red streaks like on the bottom and across, and it's not just like a tiny little red, it's like full on like red sticker. And same with my crate, Ari. That one is the same white material, and any of the black material, it left some marks on the breast area, but they're kind of hidden, so I've still been wearing that. But I'm really, really sad with this, because this is like one of my favorite cosplays that I've made. I am debating on seeing if I can find other material that won't do that and won't ruin it, and remaking it, maybe. So that's a possibility, because technically I have the whole template already made, because I've already made the costume, so I can just kind of take it apart. I can reuse a lot of the stuff on it and just kind of use it as guides, but I'm really sad about it. The Nuka-Cola would be awesome on a metallic board, kind of retro style, and yes, he loves, yeah. Well, it is a metallic paper. It's kind of hard to see on here, but they all are metallic. They're not just like shiny paper. And then our last one, which is a new one as well, is our ruler cosplay from Fate. So yeah, I'm really happy. It does not do it justice right now over the video. But yeah. Hi Magic, welcome on. It's been going good, thanks. How about yourself? So yeah, those are the new prints and the reorder of prints, so you can check them out on my website. Wah! Let me put them up real quick. I'll have to put them in my actual portfolio after the stream. Wow. Okay. All right. So what we actually want to work on is the crown today. There. Ready for the workday to be over. You heard you're going to be over in Waco, right? Or was it Wichita Falls? Wichita Falls is the next official con that I am a invited cosplay guest for. And that one is, I think, October, if I remember right. You can go to their website, Wichita Falls Comic Expo, and they have all their info on there and whatnot. I think it's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, if I believe. Maybe. Cheers. Okay, so here is all of my pieces of the crown. In total, it should have been 5 pieces. There's 6. Because I had an oopsie, and so when you 3D print something, there's always a support structure to kind of hold it up if it's not printed flat, and I was removing that, and I pulled just a little bit too hard, and it kind of snapped on me. So this should technically be 1 piece, but I didn't want to reprint an 8.5-hour print. And I wanted to assemble it today. That was my plan, and so we're gonna make it work. But yeah, so that I'll have to kind of work around. All my other pieces have interlocking pins to each piece, except for that one. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it won't all fall apart. But it shouldn't have any really weight on it. So yeah. Cool deal, you're gearing up for Anime Fest and then maybe San Japan if you got the funds. Nice! Yeah, I've never been to Anime Fest before, and San Japan I will probably not be going to this year unless I'm an invited guest, so. Hi Hi, Just Great, welcome on. How are you doing today? All right, so these are all of our pieces. What we're also going to be adding is the rest of my little pins. We use these, if you were here, for my wings. We use these same pins, and they're going to interlock in here, and then it'll go in here and combine together to help hold it and give it a little bit more support. Also, there's little spots on the back side, and we're going to be adding magnets to it. So I've got a bunch of these magnets, and they just fit in the hole, and we'll epoxy them in. The reason we're going to be adding magnets is let me get the wig and the old crown to kind of show you. It'll make more sense. Okay, I'm back. So here's the wig. And then this was our sample print. And basically on the back side of here, there's gonna be a magnet. There's a magnet that goes here, which is the side piece. And then on the very back, there's one on here too. And the reason being is I don't want to permanently attach this to the wig. So when it's on here, I want to make sure to be able to take the crown off so I can take the wig on and off and not impale myself with the crown and not have to try to put it on wearing a sharp crown. So yeah, having 3 magnets, I'll have the magnets on the 3D printed part, and then I'll end up sewing some magnets probably on the underside of the wig. If not, I'll have some sewn on the top half. And so that way all I can do is just go bloop and it'll stick. And it's the same exact process of how I did my headpiece for my ruler cosplay. That little horseshoey kind of thing is magnetic and it sticks to the wig and can come on and off, so I can easily get in and out of it. So yeah. Shoot, you totally now just realized you could have used magnets on your Soldier 76. They're a good thing to use. But I don't use them all the time. I don't like using them for props. I know a lot of people do, but for me, if you just have it as like a prop connector, a lot of times it's gonna come off. For certain weight one or like strength ones, like these are your average strength ones, and they're like the smallest that you can get and the highest almost. But normally if you want a more heavy duty magnet, they start getting to be like that size. And that's a lot of that's like really hard to kind of hide in a costume. Not saying that there's not other ones, but yeah. Freddie, thank you for using your Twitch Prime here and your second month. Ah! Much love, and you will be in the scrolly thing next stream. So, yay! Thank you. Let me write it down real quick. $8989. Okay. There we go. Awesome. Hi Jason, welcome on. And hi Shane, you can tell him hi too. So yeah, but with magnets, I only really use them for certain spots. I know a lot of people, if you make like a jumpsuit, they'll sew on magnets to the underside, and then if you have a piece that kind of floats on your body, you can just have it magnetically attached. I tend to go towards the Velcro route just because I would prefer that, because I know it's gonna stick, where if you have a magnet and it's only held by a magnet onto like your shirt or something, if it accidentally like gets hit by something, it could fall off because it's not permanently there. It's just kind of held in place, if that makes sense. And then also depending on the thickness of your clothing or whatever you're attaching it to, sometimes the magnet will lose strength because it's not fully connected. So, but try magnets out yourself. I know there's a bunch of people that love them and prefer that over the Velcro. I just prefer the Velcro. And then for like crown pieces to wigs, I use magnets. So much better than Velcro for wigs, definitely. Okay, let me put this up. Okay, we're going to be epoxying all these pieces together, and when you epoxy something, you want there to be a rough surface to both your pieces that you're gluing, meaning there needs to be some kind of tooth onto it. So all of these magnets, they're pretty smooth. They have like a tiny little texture, but not really. So we're gonna end up using sandpaper to kind of rough it up a little bit so the glue has a little bit more to stick to. Same with all of these pins. We'll be roughing them all up first before we start assembling. And feel free if you have questions along the way, you can ask. Okay, that one, put these two aside. You, I guess, can go there. Fish, fish, fish. Okay, sandpaper. There we go. Woot. Okay. All right. So in total, we're gonna need 1, 2, 3 magnets. So let's get those out. We'll really need 6 in the end, but for the crown, we're only doing the 3 to attach to it. And then on the wig, we'll attach those separately. When working with magnets though, when you're gluing them in place and attaching to something, test the magnets out first and then draw like a dot on it so you know which side to glue so they stick and they don't bounce off of each other. So those are our magnets, and then we're gonna be using, let's see, that's 1 for here. I'm gonna get them out one at a time. And all of these pieces, the magnets and the metal pins I got on Amazon. So, okay, 1 to that, then this one's connected here. And then we have 1 here that goes to here. Then from here we have 2 there and 2 there, so we need 4. And we have 1 left over. So we'll save that one. I'll need to buy more for later though. And if you're wondering why I didn't count this side as a hole for a magnet, it's because this is actually a hole for a clear acrylic rod, and that is what's gonna be holding the glowy like crown piece thingy. So the rod's gonna be in there and it's gonna glue to it, so it looks like it's kind of floating off of my forehead-ish. It gives the illusion. Alright, should I start sanding? We'll use this for a second. We'll do the magnets last. And exciting news for Patreon. I released my last 2 tiers, so now the, what were they? Oh my gosh, I gotta think. The print tier and the fan sign tier are now available on my Patreon account. And that's at Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. So yeah, you can check those out. And the blueprints, there's 2 blueprints of the month going forward. And my blueprints on Patreon are early access. meaning they are not available on my website for at least 1 month. And this month they are for my Atlantic All-Star Mercy cosplay, this one. And it is the breastplate and front skirt as one blueprint, and then the back and side skirt as the other. So if you are making this cosplay, or gonna make it soon in the future, you can do the blueprint tier or higher to get those early access blueprints. And again, they won't be on my website till at least a month, if not even further. I tend to not release blueprints of current cosplays I'm actually working on until after I'm done. Okay, now I'm done. Okay, good. Got it all set up. And it's Friday! Yay! Anybody got any plans for the weekend? I plan on hopefully getting my vacuum form machine built. So that'll be a fun experience. Playing Magic, you think? Oh, nice! I forgot, Fridays are your Magic. Adam, did you see that the PAX South tickets went on sale today? Or, well, I think yesterday? Wasn't sure if you knew if you were gonna go yet or not. I think they went up in price though by like $15. So now I think they're just about $100 now for a 3-day, which is a lot. But it's like my favorite convention. And I've got for this weekend, going to be playing more DayZ, which I'll talk about later because I came into an issue. Sad day. If you follow me on Twitter, you've already known what happened. And then hopefully going to the river some too. I went yesterday and it was a lot of fun, but I want to go again. I'm like slowly getting a I wouldn't consider it a tan, but for me it's a tan. It's like you're changing from white to white with a tiny, 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 tiny little hint of another color in it. Because typically I just burn and turn into Elmo. But I've been going to like the river almost every other day and haven't been wearing sunscreen, but I've been out there for like 30 minutes each day. So it's been kind of helping. But I'm getting a lot more freckles. Ah. This weekend comes a new episode of Fire Force. Oh, I have not watched that. But that's cool. What's it about? That comes out today, you think? No more JoJo though? Yeah, I haven't watched any of JoJo. Or if that's the same thing, I don't know. I know I've had to do JoJo poses. I was at a convention and one of the other guest cosplayers Was like, here, we're gonna all pose and do JoJo poses or something like that. And it's like, okay, so I ended up doing like something like that, or I don't know. Fire Force is the creator of Soul Eater and is about a group of firefighter. Okay. I might have to check it out then. I think we probably talked about it last stream, and I just forgot. We talked about a lot of stuff last stream. I did end up watching all of The Boys, which is on Amazon, and that was really good. Definitely not family friendly, as a heads up, but it was really good, and I possibly may do a cosplay from it. I like a Starlight. Her original uniform, not her little, yeah, I kind of binged it, not her sexy one. And I feel like her character I can really relate to on a lot of stuff, so. Hi Mel, welcome on. So with these, I'm gonna mark them. You did too? Yeah. The backstory is that in this world, people are in danger and spontaneously combusting, resulting in a fire demon and that destroys stuff around it. The fire force has to exorcist the demon while putting out the fires. That's interesting. Huh. Oh yeah, well I already, so on my story, I'm gonna write it down so I remember it. It's Fire Force. So the, on my Instagram story, I had posted like, I may do this as a or like my next costume or whatever for Starlight. And of course, one of the other messages I got was, I like this character, but you should do her other outfit, like wink wink. And it's like, that just reminds me of the specific scene where she's told, and she's wearing the other uniform, which is a lot more skimpy and revealing, and she's told while she's talking to another kid, show me your tits. And it's like, yeah, doing the original one. I feel like Starlight, yeah. Well, that and I don't have to wear a wig. Except my hair will, I wouldn't want to cut my hair like shorter. I mean, her hair is only to like here when wavy, but like my hair's a little long, but I could make it work. Yeah. But I really, watching the whole entire series, or like series, the one season, and I'm not gonna do any spoilers or anything, so don't worry. And nobody else talk about spoilers, but I feel like specifically if you are going to be doing cosplaying as a job, it's kind of good to watch because it's really relatable in that aspect. At least for me, and that's why I really related to her character specifically. Now let's see if power goes out when you're mad. Is it brave enough to test that? Oh yeah. Okay, well, see, that's the reason we put dots on it after we sanded it. found like a gas container, and I filled it up with gas, went to the car, filled it up, started driving down the road. The car is like, I don't know why, but it is the hardest thing to drive. It does not drive straight. Discarded Foot, thank you for subscribing. Much love, and you'll be in the scrolly thing next stream. Watch me write it down real quick. And you now have access to our 3 emotes. The hi Tiffany one, or Tiffany holding a hi sign, Tiffany holding a heart, and then also the tipsy getting drunk Tiffany one, yeah. Awesome. There we go. So yeah, it would not drive straight going forward. It kept going like back and forth, and it was awful. And I was going up a hill, and you have to manually shift on everything, which I can kind of do that in real life, but it's kind of difficult. Had to do it for a fellow Texan. Aw, thank you. But yeah, and I realized, oh, I'm going up a dead-end road, so I need to turn around, and I was on a hill. I forgot, you know, I'm on a hill. So I stopped, and then the car started rolling backwards. Okay, I can't do anything. There's like no, I don't understand like if there's a brake or not, or I don't know. I don't understand driving cars in DayZ yet. And basically it rolled backwards, and I started turning it, and I kind of corrected it, but then I got stuck in between 2 trees. So 2 trees, the car is like completely like stuck in between. And I'm stuck in the car. Anyway, I don't know how to switch seats in it. Like, I don't know the button. I looked it up, and people were like, weren't helpful at all. And then, also the check engine light was on, and now it is red, and the car has smoke coming out of the hood. So, yeah. And I read online that that means I need to put water and then oil, motor oil into the car that I can't get out of. Yay, day 3 of learning to play DayZ. Everyone you've seen drives, it ends up crashing. Yeah. So we'll see. Luckily, my roommate who was kind of teaching me how to play is on the same server as me, and he's actually a vendor, so I'm gonna have him get, next time I can get him on to kind of rescue me, get some motor oil from the vendors, and then also come and cut down a tree so I can exit the car. Yay! So yeah, that was my DayZ experience yesterday. Yeah. A little excited Tiff. Got a car working in DayZ. All to be utterly failed. Enjoy it so far? Oh yeah, I love playing it. You should play it, Mel. Then we can go raid the cities. It was a lot of fun because on the way to the trader, I like going house to house, and we ended up having like a horde of zombies, and so we ended up going in a police station in one of the towers, and just like there was 20 of them, and we're just sniping them. And there's absolutely no one on the server, the one I'm on, so it's had no issues with the zombies. Yeah, I looked up the other zombie game that you and Fur were talking about last time. I think it was Zomboid or something. It doesn't really look interesting to me, at least for the part that I saw. It looked very like you're playing Sims, where it's inside like a house kind of thing, at least the few pictures I saw. So, I don't know. But there's our magnet inside. Woot. Little note, keep your magnet pieces that you just glued away from scissors and anything metal, because your lovely glued in magnet, while it is still wet, will attach to those pieces, and then you're fucked. That's how I ruined like a really nice pair of scissors. I had to, well, they're not ruined. I gotta scrape off a bunch of epoxy because it dried on it, but yeah. So put that to the side for now. Yeah, you didn't think it would interest me. It's very basic graphically. Yeah. Okay, so our next one, I have to actually check to make sure the magnet fits in this one. It when I printed it, this piece kind of got a little bit gunked in it, so we'll see. My phone loves magnets. Oh, I know. I'm like trying to keep my magnets away from the camera, away from my phone, and that's why I have it like in this little dish kind of thing too, and why my magnets live in here and collect bobby pins. Okay, get one. Yeah, I'll have to clean up just a wee bit. Before I streamed, I went and I sanded all of my edges with a sanding drum and a rotary tool, or a Dremel basically, to kind of clear up some of the gunky spots. But I'd be very hesitant and warn everybody, if you're going to use a sanding drum or any type of actual mechanical sanding onto 3D pieces, or 3D printed pieces, the heat and the friction of specifically sanding drums will end up melting your piece. And if you do not have a solid infill and you use a honeycomb method of printing, which is how I do it, you have to be very careful not to go too far deep, or you'll have a hole all of a sudden. We use hard drive magnets at work to keep track of screws. Nice. Yeah, I have a few magnets in some of my makeup bags to kind of keep track of. Sometimes I'll throw in like bobby pins or like other things, or like tweezers or scissors, and it'll keep track of all of them in my bag. Going to stream, Daisy? I hope so. My computer was having a little bit of issues, and basically IT was saying that it was overperforming or something. I don't quite know. But yeah. Viking!
Best 4 months ever.
Aw, thank you! Thank you for using your sub here, sir. Much love. And you will also be on the scrolly thing next stream, so let me write that down. And there's a crazy cat in the background. She's been going nuts today for some reason. Okay. Yeah. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Oh, but yeah, so with Daisy, when I was playing it, it would... Okay, I think... Let's see. I don't want to get it stuck. There's like a tiny bit more gunk I need to clean out. But yeah, it was freezing my whole entire computer when I was playing it. Like, I'd play it for like an hour, and then all of a sudden, both my monitors would freeze. I would still hear music, so I'd have to do a manual, like, press the button to turn off the computer. And then the most recent one was my computer screen. Actually, I took a picture of it to tell my roommate so he could kind of try to fix it for me, because we know I'm awful with computers. But, let's see if y'all can see it. I'll zoom in on the sky. So my screen did this. That's little pixel boxes. So, oh no, don't turn off my phone. My bad. Yeah, so to say the least, it's gonna be a little bit until I start streaming Daisy. Yeah. So I'll have to kind of figure it out and do some more testing. And I also have to get unstuck from the tree. Graphic card issue, you're guessing? Yeah, he was saying it was something like that, and my computer, the fans were running really high a long time ago, and it was really, really noisy where you could actually hear it on my streams. So he turned it down for me, but this is from my understanding of trying to understand technical talk that I don't understand. But apparently he had made it where it was running more, but was no longer running with the fan as much, or something. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. It's like every time I need help, I either get him to help me, or I end up like doing a video call on Discord and or screen sharing and having somebody walk me through steps of try this, do this. So yeah, did he overclock it? Maybe? I don't know. That could be a word that he used. It could also not be. I a lot of times am just like, I don't understand, so I'll just go sit over here and wait to see if you can fix it for me. Troubleshooting is very important. And how long have you cleaned the computer? When I moved, I cleaned it. So it was cleaned like a month ago, otherwise I'd never cleaned it. But my computer, if you're interested in the setup, do !setup and it'll send you to my list of here's every single thing in my computer. Supposedly it's a really good computer. So I don't know. Sounds like he turned the power up and the cooling down, but didn't think he would do that. I don't know. Yeah, it's like I remember playing Atlas and I had a problem with it, and I ended up having to get Sugar Brian to do a screen share to kind of help me go through the steps of what we had to do to fix it. So I still need to, it's not sitting flat, and I tried to get all of this done before I was streaming, but I'm gonna go over to my workbench real quick and just clean out a tiny bit more. So you're gonna hear a really loud noise just for a bit. It should probably take no longer than a minute, so back in a second. Sorry guys. Okay, let me check real quick if this worked. Nope, I'm gonna do a tiny bit more. And I'll reach out in just a second. I had like changed earlier because I was covered in little white speckles from the ABS material. You learned about computers because your games won't work. It's an effective way to learn. I'd agree with that. Okay. Yeah, that'll work there. It'll stick out a little bit, but it's not too bad. But yeah, Mel, if you get the game, you can play it with me. Like, right now I'm just on like a little server with like nobody on it, so I can kind of figure out how to play it. I've watched it for years. I love DayZ. I've loved watching people stream it, and I've kind of paid attention to how everything works, so I have the general idea, but I don't know like specific buttons to press because I'm not watching somebody play with their keyboard. And so I'm kind of figuring that stuff out. I know certain things do certain stuff. It's just like, I have the items, I don't know how to use them? Question mark. Have any of you guys played Wolfenstein Youngblood? Is that the newest one? I saw something about how it's now, yes it is, okay. That it's now females as the main characters or something? You saw it streamed? Yeah, that was the game that I grew up with my dad on. I'd watch him play it as a little girl. But I had it for Xbox, but I never actually, I don't think, played it. I just watched him. The women are funny. That's what I was kind of hearing. I feel like it's just gonna be another kind of 2 playable female characters in co-op story mode. But I just hope it's not gonna be kind of like the Battlefield thing. So you don't think it's a long story? So I'm just kind of pushing it in the magnet right now. Hi, No Spaceship. Welcome on. How are you doing? It's not, but a lot of side missions. Okay, so that one is glued in place. It's not like Battlefield. Okay, well that's good then. It's Friday. I know, yay! Okay, so this one should be our very last one that we're doing the magnet for. You have a lot to build this weekend and you're super excited. Awesome! What parts are you building? Ooh, that was way too much glue. That's okay. Thank you, Viking Gaming, for the 100 biddies. Much love. All you have left are the legs, and all the build is done. Then it's just seal and paint. Very nice. How are my nerves holding up for the contest? I'm not nervous at all. It's just more of like I'm waiting. The results were supposed to be today, but I think it's been pushed back to the 6th now. Either that or somehow I got the 2nd in my head and I got it wrong. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it was originally the 2nd. And now it's the 6th that they're going to release info. But like for me, like I'm not nervous. It's just more of like I'm waiting, and then like I'm kind of going at my own pace and making this costume now. I'm a lot more relaxed instead of con crunching, and so now I'm kind of like just working and doing a lot more other work, like my own business work, which is wonderful because I was not doing like any of it whatsoever. But once I find the results, then I'll kind of like either I'll keep working at my pace that I'm doing, or if I get in, I'll probably start, okay, we need to go faster again. You keep hearing they will tell the winners today, and the official announcement is on the 6th. Yeah, so it was, see, that's what I was thinking though, because I had the 2nd in my head, which I think they had originally posted that you will find out on the 2nd or before. And then I checked their website again last night just to kind of see if for some reason, I don't know, I just checked it. And it said the results will be on the 6th. And it's like, oh, okay. So, oh well. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Oh well. I'll just keep doing me, keep working. The only thing about it being pushed back on the results is, so if I don't get into the competition, I will not be going to TwitchCon. Just because that's going to cost a lot of money. But if I do get into it, then I obviously am going, and I will have to book a flight, I'll have to also book hotel, and so just it being pushed back, or even if it wasn't pushed back, it just means like if you do get in, then it's just a few extra days farther back on getting reservations and stuff. So, and for me, I'm typically, if I'm not going as an invited guest and the con is covering the hotel and I don't have to do all the booking, if I'm planning on going to a convention just because I want to, I will buy my tickets and my hotel stuff usually like half a year in advance, so I can get it really, really cheap. Like PAX South. PAX South isn't until January, and they just released their tickets and like all the dates and stuff. So it's like, do I buy tickets now? Am I for sure going to it? So yeah. And if that's the case, then it's like, okay, I need to start looking at hotels. No, just calm down, Tiffany. Let's figure out Twitch first, and then we'll figure out PAX. That's kind of how I am. Just because a lot of the places that I do, they make you do like a deposit or something, or pay all up front. So, okay, there is our last magnet glued in place. So yeah. Cheers. Okay, so our next stuff that we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting to glue our pins together. And I'm trying to think. So because this one piece broke on us, I'll have to glue this together. I need to decide if I glue this first or if I glue it last. But I'm thinking I may glue it first so it has the longest time to harden and dry, and then at the very end we'll glue the piece from here and here. I think that's how we might do it. So we'll leave them out. No time to calm down, too busy panicking. Ah! Oh wait, no, this is perfect. There you go. I have no idea what I'm doing! Wife is out of town this weekend, so the dog and you will stream all weekend. You go first? Yeah. Well, that's fun that you can do the stream with your doggy. Okay, so before we do this, I want to kind of have it where, first are you, okay, you're a little tacky. So so I need to, it basically just goes right like that, but I kind of need to have a way to hold it. I may tape it in place too. Let's see. With these, I'm gonna practice kind of how we might assemble it. No idea what he's doing. The dripping heart gives that away. Oh, he's a doctor. It's a doctor cat. It's from I think some card game or something. But I saw it at, I think it was PAX South that I got this shirt. And or this year. And I loved it, so of course I got it. Of course. I think that'll be probably how we hold it. Definitely a great shirt. Ah, thanks. It's very me. Pretty much. Pretty much. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I make it work anyway. Okay, come on, come on. Yesterday it was nice. I did lunch with one of my old coworkers from my last job, and went and got Thai food. We got pad Thai, and it was really good. I hadn't been to that place in like a year, and it still tasted the same, but they added it a little bit more to it, and the chicken was a lot better, and it was yummy. Just be sure to plan it out before removing any hearts. It's okay, we've got duct tape. Duct tape makes everything better. Mix. It's nice that you keep in touch with your old coworkers. You don't really talk to yours unless it's business related. Yeah. It was good seeing him though. We got to catch up. Like, a couple of my other coworkers have been wanting to do lunch too. And they've messaged me on like Facebook and stuff. But he texted me. He's like, let's do lunch. I'm like, okay. Otherwise, I'm kind of slow on getting back to people. Still new here. Is EDM the primary backgrounds you prefer for streams? Huh? None of the old coworkers do lunch but work on the industry floor. Oh, background music. YouTube! I'll post a link. Yeah, I've got it on, it's a live station on YouTube, and it's a gaming kind of station that does requests, and typically it doesn't have copyright music on it. And I try to find stations that don't have too much copyright just because it freezes, or like if anybody watches my stream afterwards, which I typically have on average at least 20 people that do, it makes it so you can't hear certain sections of it. So, hi Clips, welcome back. Gotcha, just curious, do you go to any of those kind of concerts? No, I don't go to any music concerts. The only ones that I've kind of gone to were ones that are at like anime conventions. Okay, we gotta kind of hold in place for a little bit, I think. And I don't mind if there's extra glue on this part because I can sand a lot of it. Thank you, how are you doing? I'm doing good, thanks for asking. Slowly get more tacky. Yeah, I might get some other material to glue behind it at some other point, just to add a little bit more structural support. Since this broke on me, did you know that you can hide the HUD when making image screenshots mode? No! No, I didn't! Please tell me. Alt-Z, you think? Okay. That... You might have just, like... Oh. 9 times your screen resolution. Yeah, all of my blueprints, I always actually do in-game screenshots of the characters. And then I do my blueprints off of them. I don't use any... I don't go into the game files and get anything from that. I do it all from scratch. So that'll save me a lot of time. You're going to your first EDM one ever this year. Big enough of a fan. Nice! I won't be able to hide anything. It's like I just needed to get tacky. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know we gonna let it away. Tonight we gonna let it away. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. I don't want to hold here forever. You bet you can work better and zoom in more because higher resolution. Yeah, that'll be a lot better. Because there's a lot of stuff when I do my screenshots, I'm kind of like, I think this is this, and then I'll have to kind of go and look at all of my screenshots to kind of determine and kind of like make some of them up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. You know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we Yeah, well, what I normally do is I do screenshots and then I'll put it into Photoshop and I'll do like a 360 of the character and then I'll put it into one image. So I'll crop all of them so they're the same size. So I can just look at one image and see every single side of the character. And then from that, I'll put it into Adobe Illustrator and I'll zoom in there and then do all of my line works and stuff. Don't mind me. But that seems Seems a lot better. Okay. So it's just gonna kind of dry in whatever shape, and we'll make it work, because I don't want to reprint the piece. I fixed it! Okay, I gotta put this over here real quick. Okay, let me copy the link of the station we're listening to. Okay, there you go. You thought more people knew about that option, you just wondered now seeing in the bottom left. Yeah. Well, I'll show you. Let me bring it up real quick. So this is what I do, is I do a screenshot of her on every single angle, and then I go into Photoshop and I'll combine it all into one angle, so I don't have to open up the game, and then I can zoom in as much as I want, but of course it's this resolution for that, and then I can go even farther when I put it into Adobe Illustrator and do all my line work on it. So. There we go. Got it back set up. Okay, cool. Alright, so our next piece is going to be by process of elimination, this one. And so we have the holes on both sides, so we'll end up putting our little pins in, and then we'll glue it in place. And we'll kind of have to go a little slow, just waiting for things to dry. Yes, and when the screenshot resolution is higher, you will even have a finer line and less steps for the pixels, you guess. But yeah, definitely, that's like... Write something down real quick. Cool. And I had messed up when I did the CAD for this part, because instead of making it where I subtracted only from one surface, I did it from both, so there's actually a spot where it's going to kind of be hollow. But I didn't want to fix it because I was too lazy. So make sure it all fits. There and there. Cool. Providing that I keep doing Overwatch characters, not all games have these features. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I originally had thought Pink Mercy would kind of be my last one. But when this one came out, I really, really loved it. And so yeah, that's why we're kind of cosplaying it now. But I don't know. We'll see when more come out. Or if I get more commissions on some of them. There will always be a new Mercies. Oh yeah, I know. The convention stuff. Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. Well, that and they have new characters that come out too. So we'll see. I love my Mercy cosplays. But I want to make sure that I am not just the Mercy cosplayer. I want people to know me as like, I'm fine with being known as like the wing cosplayer or something. But I don't want people to only know me for my Mercies. I want people to also like love my rest of my work or something. So you're glad you did the Atlantic Mercy because you know that it will turn out fantastic like the ones before. Aw, thanks. Yeah, well this one also because it's the specific league one, I thought would be great too. Since it's the Atlantic one. Do you agree you shouldn't only be known for Mercy Wings, you should be known for all the buffalo wings that you can provide too? Okay, so now we're gonna apply epoxy to all surfaces. Hopefully I'm mixing that. The other thing I have to be careful with too is even though I love certain characters, like for me, certain ones people don't really like as much, and it could be like my favorite characters, but I won't post as much of it on my social media links if not a lot of people like it. And so I kind of have to balance off of what I want to cosplay like the most, and kind of like I have a list of these are ones that I would love to cosplay because I want to, but I have to kind of also balance it on these are what people want me to cosplay that I want to cosplay also, and I'm more likely to make something off of this or to get invites to conventions off of them. So it's a fine balance of specifically cosplays only for me and cosplays for my audience that I also like. If that makes sense. It follow you, I know you meant free food. What? Yes, you see this happening with games like Rainbow Six Siege. Community is so big that there is such an impact on support to the cosplayers when something does it. Yeah. Like for me, my anime cosplays, even though like I love Ruler, I got good feedback on it. People that really were Fate, like loved Fate, loved it. But compared to my gaming cosplays, it was flat. I don't know if I'll make really any money off of it. And so I have to kind of look at, even though I love the character, I love the cosplay, I love the show, I have to still kind of consider on, because this is my business, how much money and time it took, or how much money did it cost me to make the costume. And then I have to look at how much time that I took to make it, that I could have been making something else. And I have to kind of compare a lot of factors like that to kind of justify doing more like that. So, hi Crimson, welcome on. Of course there's gonna be some that I'm just like, I don't care what you think, I don't care if it's popular or not, I'm making it because I want to make it. Like Wicked Lady. I love my Wicked Lady. It's so pretty. Not big on, like a lot of people, they liked it, but not big. I won't make any money off of it. That's okay. But I can't do every cosplay like that. So I kind of have to go back and forth. And I try to do like a game cosplay, then an anime cosplay, or 2 game cosplays, and then an anime cosplay, or back and forth. So I'm not just one-sided. and I kind of appeal to more people and more likely to get invites to anime conventions and gaming conventions. Hopefully. But if you balance it so that you have fun and also make part of it's cool, as long as you never have to make cosplays you hate. Oh yeah, definitely. No, that's like the one thing for me though, is all of my cosplays are stuff that I want to make, and cosplays or characters that I either play the game or I watch the show, or I've watched the game, or I have some type of following and some type of passion for it. I don't just cosplay something just to cosplay it. And I know a lot of people do that, and that's all fine, but that's just not how I do it. How are you today, Crimson? Need a little bit more on this one. Actually, we'll just make a big batch because we'll do it for the other side too. Yeah, I hope I don't come across as like rude or anything on that comment. I don't mean to. I just have to kind of balance things, so do what I love and also hopefully make some type of money off of it, since I have this as my business now. It's just the reality of life. Okay. But yeah, it's just... Hi, new country girl, welcome on. How are you doing today? You found it rude, you totally joking. Do you? That's what makes you awesome. Aw, thanks, Viking. I appreciate that. Yeah, I always gotta be careful because I consider myself very blunt, and I tend to not really sugarcoat things too much, and a lot of times that gets me in trouble on things. So I don't wanna offend too many people. I don't know. Audience has lots of power in this type of industry. Yeah. Trying to get some cosplay stuff done before work. Oh, nice. What are you working on? You don't sugarcoat things, but you do splendid things. So that's happening anyway. Okay, that one's done. So I wanted to make sure it had a full coat around it, and I'm going to go through and kind of wipe up some of the excess glue. Splenda is a fat-free sweetener. Oh, okay. Why would you do that? Bodysuit for A-Force. Oh, nice. Keep your pattern for it, because you always will do another bodysuit later. Writes notes on future jokes. Some of us aren't super skinny. Don't really do a pattern, bad, I know, just drop and go, or drape and go. Hey, that's fine too. Yeah, for me, I did, for my Ariel and my Tyrael and for other ones, I do like a basic bodysuit, and I'll typically cover myself in saran wrap and masking tape and kind of draw my pattern off of that. And then I just made like with stretchy fabric, because it's a lot of times the base of most of my cosplays is a bodysuit, and I use like the stretchy like either 2-way or 4-way material. And so I just have the original one, and then I do all of my patterns based off that. But I totally get you. So there's our one piece. Coming up on the hardest part, the legs. It's the crotch area that's the hardest part for like the bum area. Sometimes like bringing it in, then it starts to just go really awkwardly looking and like ugh. Okay. Taking pictures along the way. Oh, the things with the sweeteners, it's like with so many things that seems to be good, or too good to be true. Some say it's healthy and others say you will get cancer from it. So you're basically explaining diet soda. And thanks again for all of the support today. We've got 4 subs today. Oh my gosh. And if you're new, welcome, and don't forget, press that follow button. It's greatly appreciated, and you can also get notifications on when my next streams are. So yeah. Yeah, and super sugar causes diabetes. Leotard, that is just added, or adding links. Ah. Oh. Alright, so our next piece is going to be on the other side. It's another 2 pins. So, bloop. And bloop. Oops. New Country Girl, thank you for the new follow. Much love. Okay, so we're going to check it. Like, I checked it all before the stream, but as you saw in the magnet case, we want to make sure that everything still fits. Cool. It's done. You just need a good day for photos. Nice! Yeah, make sure to share the photos. You can put them on the Discord when you get it. I think we're good, and I can just fill that little space. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I made my area, or the extra gluey stuff, but it took too long, and now it's all hard and sticky. Wah, wah. But if you don't eat a lot of sugar, only drink sodas sometimes, and no sugar, and coffee or tea, you are fine, you guess? I guess. I don't know. I tried making tea the other day. I forgot that I had like a whole pack of like tea. And so I got out my tea kettle and boiled water and started making tea and all. Tried it. Whoa, it was nasty. It was nasty. It was like, okay, this is getting tossed away. But most of my tea leaves, because I do a lot of times tea from scratch, where you have like the teapot and then you've got the little thing that holds all of your tea leaves and stuff, not just the bag. And I want to start getting back into that, because I haven't had any in a while, but they're all old and like kind of lost now, unfortunately. And the place that I had got them went out of business, so sad day. Go back to your desk and have no idea what's going on, sugar left and right. It's okay. It's okay. You shared your reenactment stuff on the chat? Did I see that? I don't remember. I'll have to look at that after the stream. I have to open the window in a bit too. The epoxy fumes are getting to me. add the glue now. I'm gonna turn it over just a teensy bit so you can kind of see a little more. In your case, not, which surprises me because you ate a lot in breakfast. Okay, there we go, there, and then we're gonna add for here. Okay, and then we'll add them to the pins, the epoxy. And if you're new and just tuning in, if you're doing this method and applying epoxy to any kind of smooth metal surface, make sure to use sandpaper on it first, so the epoxy has more of a grip onto the surface of the piece you're doing. Apply more. Hi Ninja, welcome on. How are you today? That really quickly before it dries. I'm gonna do a picture. Okay, watch out. There. Itchy, itchy. Cool. Kind of hold it in place a little bit. And then we need to fill a little bit with the glue. And we are currently working on our 2019 Atlantic All-Stars Mercy skin from Overwatch, which is this year's league-specific skin. And the part we're working on is the crown, the back of the crown to be specific. And the material, the white stuff, is 3D printed material, and it's ABS filament. We're using epoxy to glue it together with magnets and pins to kind of interlock each piece like puzzle pieces. And all of the pieces I made in a 3D modeling CAD program called Rhino 6. And they were 3D printed on a 3D printer. And it's a Prusa i3 Mark 2.5. So there you go. All the questions you were thinking or wanted to ask have been answered. Three. Okay. Now I can kind of wipe some of it extra. Waited a little too long, but that's okay. The epoxy we're using is like a 5-minute one. Basically, it sets in 5 minutes, meaning it's not fully dry, but you can start kind of using it, and it takes, I think, either 12 to 24 hours to be fully set. How long have you been cosplaying and what was the first? You go to my website, that'll show you every single cosplay that I've made at TiffanyGordonCosplay.com. But, and that will tell you a lot more about my story. But, very first cosplay was back in 2008, and that was Misa from Death Note. And that'll also, my website will also show you every cosplay and behind the scenes on how I made each of them. And I do a lot of like prop tutorials on there and how I made this and that. Okay, we're gonna have to use new glue for this other section, and then I'll end up sanding a lot of it later. You gotta do some video editing, so you gotta go. You don't want to, but you have to, so sad. But have an awesome stream and see you next time. Aw, well, thanks for stopping by, Viking Gaming, and thank you for also resubbing. Much love and have a great weekend. Okay, we do a little bit more. I think in total I've done, I don't know how many cosplays I made, 20 something. Since my very first, that I consider actually cosplays and not just costumes that I made in undergrad. Oh, I need to open the window too, I keep saying it. Bring on the Texas heat. Haha. It's gonna be miserable in a second. But yeah, where the glue kind of is a little more chunky, I'll end up going back and at my bench, I'll end up sanding some of it down. The one thing you have to be careful with when you do epoxy with 3D printed parts is when it dries, it is a little bit more shiny. And so when you paint, it's gonna have a different sheen. And typically what I'll do to kind of help remove it is sand a lot of it away. So it's still in the crack, but it's not full. And then, we'll end up going through the steps of doing the wall putty, we'll sand that, then from that we'll do sandable spray paint, sand that, and that'll kind of get rid of all of the stair stepping method as well, and a bunch of the other, like, not mess ups, but imperfections, I guess. And ideally, to get rid of even more, you would do a mold of it. But that's a little crazy on my end. Okay, cool. There we go. So that's all glued together now, and this is the back part. So we're gonna set that to the side to dry. And I'm gonna go get a small glass of wine. So I will be back momentarily. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure to press that bell button. Back in a few.
Now we will go back home today, until the very
Okay, and I brought a friend. She's been such a beggar cat today. She has an open water bowl, open food bowl and everything, but she loves drinking water out of the bathroom sink. It's like her favorite thing. And she's just been begging. Watch your little feetsies. Let me move the X-Acto blade so you don't hurt yourself. What you doing? Huh? You gonna supervise? I know, spoiled kitty. She's definitely a spoiled cat, to say the least. She gets carried up and down the stairs all the time too, and she now has a a little loud. Because she's getting to be an old lady, she gets her morning still a little loud. Sorry. She gets her morning wet food now. Instead of it just being a treat, it's like daily. Okay. Alright, so next part. Let's see. I'm gonna take off the tape so we can kind of see this area. It should be good now, but we'll reapply tape just to kind of help support it just a little bit more. Ashley, thank you for the new follow. Much love. And I recognize that name. I recognize the name. How am I getting? I don't know. Yo, the other Mussy! I think I follow you on Instagram. How are you? You love the Atlantic skin and excited to see what you're going to do with it. Aw, thanks. Oh yeah, definitely glad we're taking this off. We'll have to add some more structure with it. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're currently working on the crown right now and working on a piece that I broke this morning, trying to tape it together a little bit. Okay, so pushing it together a little bit. It's separated a tiny bit. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to apply a little bit more glue to there before we attach it. And then the next piece that we'll glue on is right here. So. We're gonna rotate this too. Doo, doo, doo. We'll see. We'll make a little bit more just in case we have enough time to attach the other part. Oh, and I did forget to say, cheers when I brought my wine. And the kitty has already, oh well, she's laying on the ground in the hallway. This song will get stuck in my head like all day. Aw, thanks, Mel. Did you get Daisy yet? Welcome back, Jason, or Shane, whichever one is taking over the account. What are y'all working on today? And I still need to message you back about the logo. Sorry, I completely forgot. I saw the image. It looks nicer than what I was picturing in my head. I like that it's in an oval shape. Logo design for a Sherman tank. Sorry, guys. I'm thinking, like, how I was picturing was you were typically gonna do, like, you know, the pocket square on the shirt and you'll do a small logo. I don't really want that to be part of the shirt, but I would, okay. I think it'd be cool if it was just a thin black outline or something on, like, the back of the shirt. And then on the front, maybe it just had, like, a little Sherman tank. And I don't know if we want to do our names on it or something. Okay, we'll apply a little bit more. And then we'll retape it up when we attach the next one. It just makes me grumpy with this piece. I think in total for all of these pieces for 3D printing, this piece was 8.5 hours to print. And then the this leg and this leg ended up being 12 hours, surprisingly. And then the other two pieces that are like this ended up being, I want to say like 2 hours. So it wasn't awful. It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. Okay, now let's tape it back up. Really, I need to do this. That'll help pull it together. Because it's already cured from the first one a little bit, but that's the part that's separating. Odie green shirts, logo on the back, small Sherman on, I assume it's going to say the front. No, my tape wasn't long enough. But I don't want to pull it too hard. Oh, I should have wrapped it first. Oops. we periodically have conversations with my tank crew. I am a World War II reenactor at Camp Mabry in Austin, Texas. No worries. And I am the tank commander for a M4A3 Easy 8 Sherman tank. And Dr. J, or Jason, is my driver. Little side facts about me. Isn't it beautiful? That'll help support it a little bit while this part glues. Okay, so now we'll be able to make a new batch, and we're gonna glue this piece. So again, we're gonna test it out, and by this time our magnet is fully glued inside. And this is gonna go right in here. It's a very small connection though. I should have put it more deep on that side, but I didn't. And then it's gonna end up being glued there. So this piece, we will probably have to hold it for a little bit unless I can figure out, I need to figure out a support thing. Let's see, how can I support you? That's not bad like that. So you cosplay like wine and you are a, wait, you cosplay, you like wine, and you are a tank commander, typical. No, it's a, I got into it because of my family. I grew up with it. My dad, he's a Brit reenactor, a paratrooper for Pathfinders, and then my stepmom does French resistance, and that's what I was doing, but switched over. What? Okay. That, what can I use? Oh, we have this. What's a block? Mel, are you drinking early? Nope, doesn't work there. You know, you said I would love or like for you to cosplay the lady from Devil May Cry, but Trish would probably be a better fit. Gummy Jeeves, Shane, thank you for using, or for subbing again. Yay! Much love, and you will again be in the scrolly thing next stream. Also, I sent out, if you are a sub to me, if you were a sub yesterday and before, then don't forget I'm your, oh yeah, and Shane is the loader, and well, he goes to whatever position is needed in the tank. And then Brian's not on and Josh isn't on right now, but they typically watch after. But yeah, I send out a monthly newsletter on the 1st, so if you are a sub on the 1st, then you get a newsletter on Twitch to whatever your Twitch email is associated with. And you, Shane, thank you for your support. You were #1 on our biddy leaderboard, and you were #1 on our donation leaderboard. And thank you also for all of the gifted subs last month to so many people. So really appreciate it. Okay, we're still trying to figure out how I'm gonna prop this up. You're not looking happy. It's what I, or what you do. Let's see. Let's maybe see if, sorry. I'm gonna dump this. One of my ceramic pots that I made when I was in ceramics. we can use this to support it. If I can put it right like there, it may work out perfectly. It just needs a tiny bit lift. There and there. I think we might have found it, guys. Sorry, I have to do like this whole balancing thing on trying to figure out how to prop up the stuff so it glues. Because they're a little bit loose. Want that. Sorry, y'all can't see. So I'm trying to figure this out. Right like there will be perfect. Okay, we figured it out. We figured it out. Okay, so let's now get all of our pieces and we can start gluing. Ideally, I should have done 2 pins for this section so it wouldn't rotate, but I didn't have a lot of space. And for this piece, I had to make this a lot thicker in general to help support, and ideally you wouldn't want it to be like that. Okay. There we go. Blue stick. And feel free, if you have any questions on what I am currently working on or any of the processes or anything, feel free to ask. Mix, 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 mix. There you go. Hi Boxy, welcome on. What are you currently working on and what is the process? Thanks. I am currently working on the 2019 Atlantic All-Stars Mercy skin from Overwatch, and this is this year's League skin specifically. And the part that we are working on is the crown, gluing it together. Also, what is the Scotch tape for? Oh, well, it's, yeah. So, my piece kind of broke on me right here this morning when I was removing the supports from it, and so we're trying to make it work. Is the crown going to have LED lights in it? I hope so. So the front of this actually has a rod that we're going to be gluing in place, not today, but another day. A clear acrylic rod, so it'll look like it's kind of levitating away from my face. And then we'll have the star and the moon there. And the star and the moon is going to be glued to a plexiglass sheet. And the material I used for the star and the moon are PETG 3D printed material, which is a thin kind of a luminescent kind of material, so it'll be able to have light go through it, and ideally I'd like to have a light behind it. So close to 5 p.m. It's almost 3 for me. But yeah. And originally I had thought of doing the fairy lights, and I had done the star and the moon as a completely different a technique, so it would kind of sandwich it in between, but it ended up being too chunky, so we went with a really thin sheet of material. And sorry, I'm like losing my track of thought. But yeah. So I'm gonna try to look for if I just have like a click on, click off kind of small little LED light, but we'll see. But I'd really like to. Sneak out. I thought you were at home, No Spaceship. Okay, we gotta kind of hold it in place a little. You work from home? Okay. But you still have to get your work done? Gotcha. Well, that's cool you get to work at home. Good thing the print broke now and not on the con or something. Oh yeah, definitely. No, the only reason it broke is for 3D printing structures, you have to print with a support material underneath it because the print isn't flat. And it's, I pulled too hard on some of the support structure because it was really stuck to it, and I ended up snapping it. Otherwise, that's that's the only 3D printed piece I've ever had break on me. And I've done a lot. Still 8 to 5, sometimes you can dip out at like 4. Nice. Yeah, and the material is ABS that we are using. And all of my CAD work I do myself. I don't use any in-game files or anything. I make everything from scratch. First doing screenshots from the game, and then I import those screenshots into Photoshop, make it into one image, then put it into Adobe Illustrator, and then I do all of my blueprints in there, and then from there I import it into a 3D modeling program called Rhino 6, and I basically build the piece in there, and then from there I print it on a Prusa i3 Mark 2.5 printer. So. We just have to wait a little bit longer for it to kind of fuse together before I set it down. I want to make sure it's kind of set a tiny bit more. So, and then we'll have to wait a little bit for it to kind of dry, but then we just have this piece to connect right here, and that is the last of it. And hopefully I didn't make it too small. That's a pretty in-depth workflow. Is the 3D modeling software pretty easy to use? Yes and no. It really depends. I'd say if you are getting into 3D modeling, don't use this program because it's really expensive, and it's a little bit harder than a lot of the free programs you can get. This one I had learned because my last job being a jewelry designer, we did all of our models and everything in this program. So that's kind of why I learned how to use it. And it's my go-to. That and also working in ZBrush, but I don't have the money to buy ZBrush on my own. So ideally what I would like to do is I do my baselines in Rhino, and then from there I would put it into ZBrush. I'd soften all of my edges. But I know with my pieces that there's limitations to 3D printers. So a lot of times there is not a need to go and fillet all of the edges or fillet all of the edges and make them round, because the 3D printer can't necessarily do that fine of detail for what we're doing. There are 3D printers that can, but they cost a teensy bit more money. And so yeah, So with all of these, what I typically do is I draw everything where the edges are all sharp, and then I'll take it to my workbench afterwards and I'll use a rotary tool with a sanding drum, and I'll go through all of the edges, I'll soften it up, and then I have a bunch of processing after to get rid of the stair step, because you're always gonna have that, let's see if I can get close enough. Actually, this one might be better. So you can see how there's kind of horizontal lines on the piece. Those are stair stepping, and you'll always have that on a 3D printer. And so to get rid of that, you either sand a lot of it, but you can sometimes go down to the honeycomb layers, which are where it's not solid, and ruin a piece, or you can do the processes that I do for using the wall putty, sanding it, sprayable sand paint, or sandable spray paint. Thank you. I got that backwards. And then sanding it again, blah, blah, blah. Until I become a famous cosplayer, then you'll be rich. At that point, I'll hand off my CAD work to somebody else. I'll say, I want this. Please make it. Thank you. But right now, I do everything on my own. Jewelry makers use 3D modeling software. Oh, yeah. For how I worked at my old job, I did so I would design by sketches. I would import into Adobe Illustrator and get the exact line that I wanted. I do all the drafting of the pieces and make sure it's like, that way I can get it approved, make sure it's exactly what I want. And then from there, I would usually either make it in actual metal, so I'd cut it out of a sheet of silver, or I would bend it out of wire to make a ring, or whatever the process was. For more complex stuff, I would take it into Rhino, ZBrush, there's also Matrix. Those are the typical jewelry designer programs, and you would make the piece in there, and then you'd end up having it cast in silver, bronze, or gold. From that, you would have to clean up, because everything, it comes back not as a shiny, pretty piece. You'd have to cut off the sprue, which is basically, if I casted this piece, there'd be like a line that holds it to the base, and that basically is where all the metal is going through to your entire piece. So you have to get rid of your sprues and clean it up, soften the edges, make it feel like it's from hand. Sometimes I'll add texture to it. You'll have to buff it, patina it. If there's a stone, you'd have to set it in either prongs or a bezel or whatever type of setting you're doing. Things like that. So, a little complicated. Sorry. You can use different solvents, but the problem is a lot of times you can't control how much, and you can eat through it. And the process that I do, at least for me, is the least chemical for me working inside in a bedroom and not having to work outside in Texas 100-degree heat, and the least messiest and cost-affordable as well. Plexiglas, you can use solvent to clean rough edges. Oh yeah, those are nice. But I actually don't for my plexiglass. I end up just hand doing it. I like the imperfections, the purposeful imperfections, not the crack right there. That's not purposeful. But everything else, I like the feel of hand to my pieces, and I try to do that with my 3D printing pieces as well. And not just have them look like they're German manufactured, straight off the line, pristine, like amazing. I don't like that. It looks too fake and it looks too much like I went into the game and just printed it, which I don't do that. I want it to look like I made it by hand, but it's those imperfections that make cosplays have that tiny little details that you don't notice it at first, but it just elevates the costume and makes it feel more approachable, more real, and less you printed it from a machine, if that makes sense. Cast molding process is the next step that I would most likely be going with my cosplays to like do for gems and stuff. But again, it's just another step, more money. So slowly invest in a lot of stuff. I know, mass-produced cosplays, woot! No, there's some really fantastic prop makers out there who they'll do a one piece of 3D modeling and they'll print it, get it perfect, and then they'll do molds of it and then they'll sell them. So those, I give them props, but I don't have the setup for that. And it's just me, and a lot of them have like assistants and stuff, so. You love imperfections, must be why we get along so well. Imperfections are one of the reasons to differentiate factory made and versus. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that also the mass production for like doing molds and stuff. That is one of the actually main reasons why I do not sell my STL CAD 3D modeling files, is because I know a lot of people would do it for themselves, but there are companies out there that have asked me, like, can I buy this file for you or from you? And I've had the conversation many times, but it's something that I don't want to release and have mass produced, and it's just my thing. So I'd rather help teach people how to do it themselves than hear and steal it kind of thing. You saw a lot of theft on that stuff, yeah. And I know there's a way of doing inside your CAD files, like if you sliced a layer, you could do your name engraved in it and stuff, but it's too hard to do that. So, okay, we have one more piece to glue, but I gotta wait for this to set a little bit. So I'm gonna get something else, and we're gonna head to the little circly crown star and moon real quick. You hear noises for a second. Okay, we're gonna get this out. This out. So we'll put to the side. Sorry for being a little technical today on some stuff. I typically don't talk too much on the technical side. Thanks for watching, guys. You were taking apart counterfeit products to evaluate them. Oh. You saw some companies stealing an artwork from Instagram and using it on a t-shirt, like how... Oh yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah. Okay, so this right here, it's taped right now because I still need to airbrush paint it. I've had it like sitting on here for like a week and a half. But these are all of our pieces to the star and the moon. To scale, these are PETG material. One of those, I always get it backwards. But this piece, I'll airbrush paint it, and then we're going to attach it to plexiglass sheet, 0.03 inches thick, which is the same thickness and the same material that we used for our wing extensions for the wings. And that's this material. And so this will all be attached on the back, and then on this side, I have a hole right here, and that is so that way I can attach a clear acrylic rod to the inside and have it, if you go back to the old piece, sorry, that's like as close as I can get with the window. But if you see, there's like a slight little circly hole, and PETG. Thank you. Keep me straight on that. My dyslexia will start making everything be like different words and stuff, and ugh. But the rod will end up coming in here and then in here, and it'll stick right there, away from the forehead. About, I have the exact measurement in my CAD for cutting out the rod, but it's, it'll end up being like 1 inch away or 1.5 inches away from my forehead. So that way it'll give an illusion of, from a distance or for photos, that it's floating there. And I can then also do the kind of light stuff. You're getting out of here. You have a good one and keep it up. Aw, well, thanks for stopping by, No Spaceship, and have a wonderful weekend streaming with your dog. So, bye. Alright, and my phone's about to die, so then I'll have to start reading chat on the computer, which will be unfortunate. But, so, here's my CAD, or my Adobe Illustrator basic line work first. Just general stuff, and then you can see the difference between how I made here to the crown. It's a lot more sharp. I made it a lot more accurate. But this is what I actually need right here, and this was my original, if you see there's a bunch of lines and stuff. Originally I had plans on doing the fairy lights in here, and that was going to kind of be my path until I got the fairy lights. I figured it out, I'm not going to do that. But we're going to use this instead, because it's the same size as this, as a template for cutting out the plexiglass that we need to scale. Ideally I don't want the plexiglass to go on the outside of this. I want it to be the plexiglass that goes to the edge. And then we'll do it kind of like around here and then over here. That's my thought. We may change it as we go, but that's kind of where we're going to start. Of course, I will need to, with the plexiglass, we'll have to end up cutting a hole through it. And typically what I do is I use a soldering iron to actually burn away the plexiglass in that spot, because this is such a thin plexiglass, you can do that. So we'll just have to cut it around and then kind of do that. So that being said, we will have to add a little bit more of the material around it. Jasmosis, thank you for the follow. Much love. Let me see, Jason. Large logo on the back of the shirt, our names over the right breast, a small logo on the left breast. Or a silhouette of the Sherman with our names overlaid on. I'd say for the front, only on one side. It's awkward to have something on both sides, because it's kind of like, yeah. If you're still on, Jason. But I like the idea of like the silhouette of the Sherman, and then maybe our name is like underneath it. I don't know if we necessarily want to do our positions, just because I know we'll probably be changing positions around and stuff, but okay. So that being said, I'm glad I talked out loud about this, because that makes me want to change this just slightly. So I'm gonna get an eraser real quick. Hopefully this will work. And my camera's still up. Good. See, I plan something and then I talk out loud to y'all, and then I'm like, nope, that's not gonna work. We're gonna do that differently. So I'm glad. And probably in like 5-10 minutes, we'll be able to go back to and finish gluing the very last piece onto the crown. Thank you for the follow. I can't read your name though. Much love. Cheers everyone, and I'm gonna close the window now that we're not doing a lot of gluing. So with this being said, so I'm just kind of getting an estimate of where the circle is. Which is roughly about there. And you can see the stars differ on both sides. So with this, I'm gonna cut off the other section real quick. So I want to get a better look at it. So like technically I could have the plexiglass where it kind of outlines. My concern with what I just said is if I have the plexiglass how I want it to be hidden, I still need to have the plexiglass right here in this section. Sorry. And the plexiglass also needs to be here, here, here. And here. With that being said, the plexiglass then would have to curve around like this, but it's not going to be here and here. And the glow effect of the plexiglass, if there's going to be a light, if there's going to be another kind of, we'll say that star is a light or something, it's going to definitely shine a lot brighter on this side because the plexiglass is going to reflect the light and everything and have it shine differently, where if it's not on this side, you're not going to see it as much. It's making me think that maybe we should add a slight little rim around the whole entire piece. So it has a larger sitting area. The only thing with doing this way is I'll have to be really precise when I glue it onto it. But I think this might be better because then you'll have a little bit more of a glow effect and not just through this material. It'll kind of have a little bit more of an outer glow. It's nice being able to talk to myself, but other people be here hearing and kind of like, it's not as weird, I guess, talking to myself on my thinking out loud. I just thought about that. And we're going to use this as our outline for cutting out the plexiglass as well. We'll see. Sometimes the plexiglass you can't get the sharp of angles, so I may, because I cut it out with scissors beforehand, so we will see. Talking to yourself and not to us. The whole time she was talking to herself and not, oh, sorry. No, I didn't mean it like that. It's like, I mean it like, sometimes when I'm thinking out loud, like I'm really thinking, like for this right now, I'm going through my head and just kind of talking it out. Sorry, now I'm talking to y'all too, I promise. Remember, my entire purpose here is to yeah, I know. No worries, Eclipse. What anime are you watching? Or are you watching the, what was it, the Fire Force? Or was that somebody else? Sorry. Yeah, normally for my streams, I'm very much like, this is what we're doing. I know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of like, I'm not thinking, because I already have it planned, where this is kind of like one of those rare times where I'm actually thinking on stream of how would I actually make this. You watch that too, but not what you are watching right now? Oh, okay. Okay, so there's our basic outer shape. I think that's gonna work out a lot better. We're gonna leave this just solid because there's no point in having a little bit of that being a hole. And then that'll make it, when we have this here and all the pieces attached, it's gonna glow that much more, I think. Glad we had this talk. Thank you. Cheers to all of y'all. Dr. Stone? Have not watched that. Okay, so we've got that done. I think we should be good to glue our next piece onto the crown now. Something called Kagan's Assortment. Huh. Go on the floor for now. Okay. So our last piece is gonna be this piece. We have one more post. And all of these pieces, they are just gonna be kind of floating on my head. So there's not actually any support or like any hard like support stuff that it needs too much. A little tacky, but I think it's good. So here's the piece that we just glued. To give you an idea, it'll sit like that. And then this piece will have a post in here, and then this one's gonna go right in here. So that's the whole top part. So we need to, it's a little bit heavy on the back end, so we're gonna need to probably prop it again. So let's figure out our propping first before we glue. So if we're doing this, actually we may need to put it off the table. Sorry for the odd angle. That's like the best I can do for y'all right now, as I attempt to figure it out. It's like right there would be perfect if I can get a bag for it to sit on. Let's see, what can I use? I need to lift this whole thing up. What do I have? That may work. My webcam box! Because I haven't hooked it up yet. Let's see. Hopefully I'll get it working soon. That there. That there. Now I need something to hold this. Not the right height. We're like playing the balancing game almost. Actually. Pins. I think right there. I think we got it. And then I'll use one of my sandbags to hold it down. Let me get one of my little weighted bags real quick. All right, so this is our very last piece to the crown. I'm excited. And the next step after everything is dried would be I do a little bit of touch-upping. I'll probably add some type of support under here where it broke. I'll find some old filament or something and kind of add a little bit more structure to it. And then sand all the edges, and we'll start doing all of the stair-step removal process. So, okay. Now we're gonna do our epoxy. And it's the 2-part epoxy, 5 minutes setting. Stick rope. I have a love-hate relationship with these because they're nice and cheap to use and everything and easy to mix stuff, but half of them are like not solid and there's like a weak spot and they just break like instantly. Okay. And as a reminder, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, we sanded all of the pins with sanding paper, and that's to help the epoxy have something to stick to better. Okay. There. Do the epoxy on the other side. And you could also make this in EVA foam as well. You don't have to 3D print something like this. But for me, because I wanted to do the lights and have it kind of removable and keep its kind of structure, I felt that doing it 3D printing wise would be a better option. And then there, we need a napkin really bad. Way too much epoxy. And ideally you'd want this to be a 2-pin hold as well and not just the one, because it spins a lot easier, but I don't have the room for that, so I'm just making it work. Today is a make it kind of work day. Okay. So we're gonna hold it a little bit, let it kind of harden in place just a tiny bit before we place it on our spot to dry. Cheers again, everybody. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all of the new followers and for all of the subs. Gotta go. Have a good day. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, Eclipse, and have a wonderful weekend and rest of your day. Yeah, it's weird that it's only 3. Feels a lot later than that right now. No problem, and thank you all. Starting to get a little tacky, which is good. My phone is just so bad right now for dying. So next we will need to, the little piece that we just drew on with the star and moon, we'll need to cut that out with an X-Acto blade. And then we will need to get our plexiglass. We'll have to heat it up because our plexiglass is actually all round. So we'll have to heat it up and flatten it so that way it's as close to being flat as possible. And then from there, we will attempt to cut it out and maybe burn the hole into it. We'll see. We'll see what time we have. Okay, I think it's pretty good for me to kind of lay down. I'm going to use the paper towel to kind of protect it from sticking too much. Sorry for the awkward angle again. We're paying balancing. Away from the edge as much. Okay, let's see. That's kind of good there. So we'll have to look at it in a bit as well and make sure it's still in place. There we go! Yay! We glued our piece together! Now we'll just hope that it holds together. Okay. I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick, so I will be back momentarily. Much love, guys. We don't need this anymore. That can go back over here. Alright, Okay, so we're gonna cut out our piece now. And thank you again, Excel Blades, for providing the X-Acto blade and the knives. We will see if my blade is dull, if I have not replaced it in a while or not. Almost done cutting it out. So like, it doesn't seem like we did a lot of work today, but in reality we actually have. For getting the crown all glued together and figuring that out, and then getting this stuff. There we go, a little piece. I'm actually curious, because I used scissors to cut this, and I'm curious if my X-Acto blade will actually cut it. Nope. But I can break it by doing that. Probably not the method we want to do though. Probably not the method. But good to know. Okay, put that to the side. Okay, there. I need to go get plexiglass now. That's this size. Always save your scraps. So here's this rest of my scraps from my the wing extensions that I didn't use. And we'll use a Sharpie to get an idea of how much material we need. Roughly like that. And I'm gonna put our glue and everything off to the side. Okay. Then we will cut it. Wait, what are you? Oh, my phone's dead now. Yay, I'll have to watch chat on the other thing now. Okay, so here's our little sheet. You can see it's got a bend to it, so we're gonna have to heat it up and flatten it. But it also has protective stuff. And so we gotta remove that. Get the heat gun. And what can I unplug? Oh, I don't have to unplug. Awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat it up, and then I need to apply something that's heavy to make it go flat. Ideally, you'd want to do this on like outside in a garage for a cold floor, so you heat it up and then you'd be able to have it cool on a cool surface. So, bye Mike, thanks for stopping by. Have a good weekend. Let's see, what can we use? It's like technically we could use the cutting board, I think. We can use that. All right. So let's heat it up. And you'll see it start to frost. Flip it real quick. I may have waited a tiny bit too long, so we'll see. Hi Dagner, welcome on. You're so instructional, you love it. I think that'll be good. It's not completely flat, but we can use one side over the other, and then once we glue all the pieces, I think it'll work out for us. So, okay, how are you doing today? Unplug our heat gun, and because this is Cello's favorite thing to rub on, I have to make sure it's like out of her way so she doesn't roll on it when it's hot. So beware if you have pets, they may do this too. And you don't want them to burn themselves touching it accidentally. Okay, there we go. And then Sharpie. Okay. Our little piece. And then we've got this. So I want to trace on my pattern onto here. Okay, that should be good. Just, and we'll need to check the crown after we trace this just to make sure everything's still kind of aligned. And hopefully we don't have to do any touch-up glues, but we may still have to. Is anybody else excited that it's Friday and have any plans for the weekend? I'm planning on building a vacuum form machine for this cosplay. And that'll be for part of the boot covers and for the gauntlets. And then, of course, I'm going to be playing DayZ. Maybe some of y'all will join me. And then probably going to the river. So that'll be fun. Gotta watch the Outlaws tonight, then you have no clue what to do. Nice. Yeah, we're getting a lot more people that like watch TV and stuff in chat, which is awesome. A lot of people that watch stuff that aren't just like shows that I watch, which is nice because it kind of makes me look up other things and see what else I'm interested in. I binge TV so much. Typically when I watch a show, I'll watch like a whole entire series or a season a day. Just because like the only time I listen to music when I work most of the time is when I stream. And when I'm not streaming, I'm either watching Twitch, somebody playing something on there, or I'm watching like a show on Netflix or on some other one. So that's what I normally do. But yeah, so we just traced it on there. Some of these closer spots we may burn it, but I'm going to try not to. The reason being is when you use a soldering iron to plexiglass, it ends up bubbling the edges slightly, and then you have to go back and cut it and file it. And your plexiglass, when you file or use any type of heat, like a soldering iron that actually melts it, your plexiglass then becomes foggy and a white kind of colory, and so then your transparency is kind of ruined. All right, let's attempt to cut. And I'm gonna do basic parts first, and then we'll do detail parts after. And I'm not gonna worry too much about getting 100% to the line. So I'm trying to cut on the outside of the line to make more sense. So you should see the black line all the way around. The reason being is the Sharpie will end up rubbing off, so it's fine. And I know my line when I traced it was for that. If I cut inwards, then I'm losing material from the design. And this part's going to be difficult to cut. I do want to test one thing. Let's see. Yeah, we're not using that. I always have samples to test things, so you just use this. You can see when it cut, the split. So I cut it, but it only cut halfway. Focus. Focus. Okay, it's not focusing. Well, the very tip of it that's away from where I cut, that one actually is a white fog cloud. It actually doesn't have a cut there. So we may have to attempt different scissors. Let's see, what else do I have? It's like I have my good scissors. And for cutting plexiglass, your scissors will be very, very dull after. Oh, that'll work perfect. Okay, so we'll keep with this one. I have a scissor sharpener, and I recommend everybody get one. You can get them at like Joann's Fabric or Michael's, any place like that, like a craft store. And they're normally like maybe $1, and that's it. Okay, and I'm not gonna fully cut and turn. I'm gonna go from the opposite way to cut that piece. But I'll flip the piece over to do it. And trying not to scrape the back side with the scissors either. And I'll get into this later. Okay, so that's all that. So now we're gonna flip it. Weird dumps. They've been cleaning out the place next to me. I had the carpet cleaners and stuff. The building I'm attached to. So I should most likely be getting new neighbors soon. We'll see. Yep. Getting there. I know it's probably hard to see because it's clear. But hopefully you can see some of it. So now we have all of those, so now we're going to start cutting into here. This one, I'm a little more afraid once we get to this spot, it may crack on us. So we may have to kind of go at a triangle probably or something. Sotsuki, thank you for the host. Much love and welcome on, everybody. It's slowly turning into a Nintendo 64 controller. Yeah, it really is. Boop, boop, boop. I should go get mine out of the closet. And hello, everybody. My name is Tiffany from Tiffany Gordon Cosplay if you are new. And we are currently working on my 2019 Atlantic All-Stars Mercy cosplay from Overwatch. And it is this year's Overwatch League skin. And hopefully it'll be for TwitchCon 2019's cosplay competition. But we're still waiting on results right now. Can't you use a knife cut a few times and then bend or break? You can, but it doesn't work for doing in here. Basically, if you were to do a cut, it would break in half, and you can't get into these edges without it breaking from, if you can see better that way, it would break this middle section in half. So if I was doing like a square, it would work fine. And we're currently working on the crown part of the cosplay. We just finished gluing all of the components on the crown just a few minutes ago, and we'll check it out in a second after we're done cutting this. And this piece is actually for the glowy part that's right here. And it's a 0.03 inches thick plexiglass. Yeah, that was good that it went on the other side, not this one. That could have been bad. Okay, I'm gonna do some minor cutting this way. Okay, just that if you use the knife only on the inner... Yeah, it still would, even if you cut it a couple times with the knife, the likelihood of it splitting is a lot more high than just doing the scissors. I'm basically getting to the edge and then I'm stopping right beforehand, and I'm not connecting the pieces when I cut, so at the very end I'm snapping it off. But good suggestion, though. Okay. So this will be the scary part. It's like if I can kind of cut in. You can see here how that one section we just cut, it got a little bit more foggy. And that's because I'm slightly bending it and it's causing the fogginess to go through the plexiglass. Grr, grr, grr. We just may have a slight fogginess on some spots. No. Yeah, we'll have foggy there, unfortunately. Damn it. Yeah, that was what I was afraid of right there. So you can see this corner right here. The fogginess. It's slightly cracked right there. We'll still make it work, but that's grump, grump, grump. Yeah, not curved ones. That's what that one was. The only way to get into there. I'll probably use the soldering iron right there to kind of fuse that one spot so the split doesn't keep going, because I'm afraid this section, just like if you break your windshield, the little crack may start going through the whole piece, and I really don't want that to happen. But I don't want to cut this out again. I may be a little lazy when it comes to certain things. Okay, let's see if I can grab that. Whew, that could have been bad. It did split on us just a tiny bit. Okay, so just this one little section left. There we go. So now we cut out this whole section. You're going to be shooting someone, why not do it with a nice calming stream in the background? What? What are you talking about, Mel? What? Scroll up? What did I miss? Oh, I completely missed that. Okay. Yeah, sometimes when the Chessbot stuff comes on, I lose track on some stuff. Okay. See, you think I'm some side. Of course. Well, I mean, it's you, Mel. We know you are. Okay, let's check on our crown now, since we finished cutting that out. Good thing is I can still kind of force it to go into place. So I'll end up, we're gonna add more glue to this in a second, but here's basically our crown. Let's see, it's really hard for me to do this backwards in OBS. I mean, with that, yeah. So there's the crown. I don't know if y'all can see, but nah, I'm so backwards with this. So when I watch myself with OBS, everything is completely flipped. So it's even more confusing when it's like not straight. Okay, I'll get the wig. That'll show more. If I can mirror my stream, make it easier. Oh, I would love to do that. I don't remember why. There was some reason why I had flipped it for some reason. I don't know though. But yeah, so here's our wig, and then it'll sit basically like that. Ish. Of course, I'll have to style it. And then I can't turn it. And then the back. And all the spots where there isn't something, we'll end up having it where the hair will go over it to kind of hide that section. So yeah, that's what we did today. Y'all are so funny. Okay, so all I want to do is kind of bend this to place, and then we're gonna reprop it up. But it's pretty good. Oh, we also need to check this joint. So let's remove the tape. And if you missed the beginning of the stream, when I was removing the support structure this morning from this section here to here, I pulled too hard and I snapped the piece in half right here. And all the other pieces, when they connect, I have a pin to lock them both in place. Well, this part doesn't have a pin because it wasn't meant to. So I just am kind of treating it a little special. Okay. I hate having my chat on my computer now because I can't see. My phone is dead. Where's the end? And we did it in sections just because it's epoxied. Okay, maybe it's stuck now. I might have waited a tiny bit too long. Let's see. Do I need a fancy charging dock? I actually have one. I have this little fancy brick, but I haven't charged it. So my charger is by my bed. And then, yeah, it's fine. So we can say anything about you to Mel. Gonna get himself in trouble. Okay, well, I'm gonna wait on that. But I think, let's see, it's just about 4 o'clock. What about one of those built-in stands? What kind of phone do you? Oh yeah, I've got a 3D printed stand, but it's a Pixel 2. So, but I'm bad at charging my phone. I always forget, and then like I'm like, oh yeah, I have to charge it. I'm about to stream, But when you have a stream on for like 3 hours, it has issues. Just because it's constantly running more power with it. So, anyway. I'll just see real quick. I think that is where we are going to end our stream today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and if you're new, welcome. I'm Tiffany from Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and don't forget, press that follow button. It's greatly appreciated and helps support and grow our channel. And you can also get notifications on next time I stream. As always, you can follow me on any of my social medias. They're all at Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. That is obviously for Twitch, for Facebook, for YouTube, Instagram, and for Patreon. And speaking about Patreon, we do have new tiers available. We have a fan sign tier and a print tier. And so all the tiers are now there. You'll get early access to blueprints, to tips videos, Patreon exclusive private Instagram accounts, Patreon exclusive Polaroids, bathing suit stuff for cosplays, and a bunch of stuff like that. So check it out. That is at Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Tiffany Cosplay, and you can also go to my website right down there, www.tiffanygordoncosplay.com, to see all the behind the scenes of all of the cosplays I've made. I have blueprints on my website available. I have new prints on my website available. If you want to see them, I showed some of them at the beginning of the stream, but all of them are now available. All the ones that were previously sold out are back in stock. So, and we do have discounts on prints now. I'm slowly removing some off of the site, so the ones that are $8, once they are gone, they will be gone forever. So check those out, get them while you can before they are gone. So thanks, guys. Also, thank you for all the new followers today. Thank you for the hosts. And thank you to the Maltese Falcon for the resub, Freddy8989 for the resub, Discarded Foot for the sub, Viking Gaming 287 for the resub, and Gummy Jeeves Shane for the resub as well. Much love, guys. And one more ad, sorry. I'm also working with GetaThreads.com, and if you go to their website and use code TiffanyGordon15, that is the numbers 15, you can get 15% off your total order. If you scroll down on my Twitch page, you can see the picture of me in the clothing, and you can click that, it'll send you to the website. And so yeah, check that out. And as always, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday. So much love, guys, and have a great one. Bye.